My good morning, you beautiful souls. We are diving into the eclipse of release. This is a potent one. We have a blood moon later this evening, and although we won't be able to see it in North America, it's still the same aspect of the energies coming through. And this has been a quintessential moment kind of building up since early spring, even late winter, midwinter, and last fall. Now, we're going to dive into it. Energy levels are a little low in the morning. It's day 5 of my water fast, but it's going to be potent. Know that for sure. Now, the eclipses are always portals. They've always served as portals throughout time. They've always served as kind of markers, God's clock, God's calendar, so to speak. And this one specifically is really kind of the closing and ending of the new chapter. The old chapter ends, the new one begins, and everything that we've been going through really all summer, highlighting things in spring, again, as I mentioned, last fall through winter, all these lessons. It's kind of that put up or shut up moment from life. It's the time where we can really just cleave the old self to allow that to finally just die, and be reborn into something that we know we're intended to be. And as I always like to frame it, as like God created us to be. So we can come a little bit closer into the purest expression of our soul, our beingness. So we're going to explore that a little bit together. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter, but go ahead and get your last few wiggles out. Any sips of tea, any beverages you need. And as we begin, we'll start off with the 3 taps of the singing bowl. And with our inhale, with each of those taps, we'll transmute that exhale into a mighty Om, allowing ourselves to open and relax the mouth, allowing that A note to resonate from the heart. And as you close the mouth, the vibrations in the U and the M will form naturally. Go ahead and get a breath. Big sigh of relief. Allow yourself to relax, simply observing the body, all that arises within it, watching the inner space just as you would watch a movie. This is the time to rest within yourself. Pay no attention to what's going on around you. Tap into that inner stillness, a focusless focus. When you hear this final tap of the singing bowl, shift your attention to the sound as it fades into silence, allowing the energies, the tensions to settle, to be relaxed. We've been called to refine. This task of stripping away the false, the layers, that which no longer serves us, that which separates us from ourselves, from each other, and from God. Know that Source has many great things for you. But the more we put the earthly realm over the heavenly, over our spiritual sense, our true selves, the less we can be graced with blessings of abundance, of easefulness, of beauty. But at some point, we all must take a stand within our experience, a conscious choice, utilizing free will to learn from love, not chaos. For the true nature of this world is not as chaotic as we think, but rather it is led by free will. It is led by our vibration and what we're putting out there. Since fall, since winter, spring, and especially summer, the lessons have been building. And that which has been in a blind spot for our life has come front and center. There has been more aspects of that which isn't in alignment bubbling up to the surface. We've all been calibrating. And this calibration has been one for the heart, for the truest compass we have. But we must look at it straightforward. We must look at this with simplicity. For now is the time to honor those inner knowings and not dismiss them, not run away from them, not try to mask them. Post-eclipse, the lessons will become harsher. The more that you stay in this out of sync alignment, the more life will have to turn up the intensity, the heat, so to speak, to get you to walk away. It's all a choice. And life will continue to press us into making those choices. Are you doing things for you? Or are you doing things for Creator, for your heart? We're not here to serve the horse anymore, but rather master it, harmonize with it, heal it. And from there, the two, the spirit and the body, can operate as one, thus unleashing and liberating the soul to its fullest expression. What have been some of the lessons that summer has taught you? How are they previewing themselves in spring? Were there any hints and notes in winter and in fall? For as we approach this upcoming fall, many things. Excuse me. And as we approach this upcoming fall, know that many things will fall. Know that we are running out of time. It is always my best wishes and deepest knowings that come through. And in these moments, we must come to accept and know that not everyone will walk through this threshold. But that makes it even more important that whoever's listening now does. To be that shining light of inspiration. To continue to lead by example. To show others the way, but we must first root ourselves in our spiritual knowing. Rooting ourselves in that heavenly realm. And this ultimately means letting go. letting go of the earthly distractions that take you away from what you were created to be. And in order to truly receive all that you seek in your aspirations of the heart, you must be willing to make room. To make room in that cup of life, so that source can actually fill it up with something better. One can look at these themes and patterns that have been playing out for the past few seasons leading up to now. And at this point, if you don't have a grasp, take this time now to look at what's the cost. What is the cost of holding on to these things, these temporary happenings? Challenge them, question them. Are any of them rooted in fear, doubt, separation, overindulgence? Or are they rooted in God, in life, in love, in harmony? When it comes to this human experience, we're meant to live liberated. We're meant to let go of all these falsehoods, to live from our hearts fully. And to do that, we must honor both the body and the spirit. Yet we must understand that our spiritual selves, our eternal natures, must always be at the forefront of that show. For that is a healthy and harmonious alignment for ourselves. The body takes control when it's protecting, but for the most part, it's time of rest. For it has fought for us so much in life. And it's our job and our duty spiritually to protect it, to nurture it, to shepherd it. But love isn't always comfortable. So what is it you seek to have in this world, to experience? And what are you doing to get it? For now is the season of action. And if it's not aligned with your heart, then do not act. Yet, if it is, we must act on it. We must speak from it in order to see any progress in life. Many are going through this season of faith and trust. Spring and summer has been many lessons revealing what has been holding you back from trusting in life, trusting in source. And now with this marker of the eclipse and as we enter into fall, it's ultimately trusting in ourselves. Trusting in the creation made by our Creator. Mm-hmm. So lean in. Lean into the invitation. But what it means in terms of this release is to not simply cut things away from you, but to understand them, to transmute them, and to anchor them into that which is true. To spend more time in prayer, meditation, reading of scripture. For we are entering the times in which many texts have talked about. And we must be well versed in the seasons in which we're living through. Do this and you will not be one of the many who fall and fall. And although there may be chaos in the external world, your inner world and your orbit will be harmonious, will be aligned, will be protected and guided. Know that doing all of this out of love is what will take you to the next step. Know that if you do this out of love for yourself, out of love for the self, it may take you far, but it won't take you to the next level. We're being tasked to fall in love with our Creator. And through that love, we then are gifted with the most abundant resource of it, which will wash away anything holding us back from loving ourselves and loving life fully. We're the prodigal children, and we're being tasked to come home. But that is always just one step of the journey. So choose to come home now. It need not take a catalyst for you to do so, but a choice right now. And then once we're home, the challenge then becomes, can you fall in love with being home again? With the wisdom that you've gained from exploring this disconnect with Source. When it all comes down to it, it always boils down to our connection with Creator. Hmm. Know that you are so loved and supported right now. Everyone has a team assigned to them in this waking state. And they're all eagerly waiting for us to take these next steps. Mechanics of this world are simple. Free will, how you perceive, will be what you experience. How you feel and radiate those energies of emotion will pull in that in which you experience and live through. So do you utilize the other energies of this eclipse, those creative aspects, to radiate your future self with that in which you seek. But be humble enough to know what you need to let go of to receive. And from there, everything else will make sense. Everything else will come together. Our cup of life cannot be filled up and overflowing if we refuse to connect with Source. For it is only God that can pour those infinite nectars of life and experience and love and joy and abundance. So allow today's full moon and eclipse to serve as that rebirth for you as we approach fall, and that we've already shed what needs to be let go, so we can capitalize and harness on the transmutative aspects of it to step fully into that in which we're created to be. When you hear this final tap of the singing bowl, shift your attention fully to the sound of the bowl as it rings, taking in that deep breath and releasing and transmuting that exhale into a mighty, powerful hum. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. We'll keep the Q&A pretty short today. Didn't really receive too many questions this time, but that's okay. Don't got too much gas in the tank left. It's time to lay down and just get cozy. But there's an important energy coming through that people really need to take to heart. And it's that aspect of urgency. Time and time again, I keep getting hits on that. That now is not the time to be playing around. That if we really want to take this next evolution into ourselves, to really, I would say, experience life at a deeper intimacy and to enter into this next chapter, we've really got to let go of the earthly things that hold us back. I always do little experiments with things, and this year of sobriety has been one of the biggest, teaching points in that one. The energies that are present in the world, the subtleties of things, like the intangible becoming more tangible, has been so intense this season, this year. And it's only building. And then even in this water fast, just observing the different shifts that have been going on, gives me chills. It's been intense, and I'm very grateful that I've been doing me and dialing in my connection with Source, because I feel very anchored and rooted. But just from witnessing the world and meeting with students and talking about them in their orbits of people and things like that, like a lot of people are going through it right now. And that's kind of the responsibility aspect, is that, those of us that are kind of ahead of the curve in this, bell curve of the collective consciousness, it's up to us to kind of be those anchor points to hold the collective bandwidth down so people just don't lose it. And with that being said, it's not meant to be an overly, like, it is my duty, like, I'm serving this, I am this. That's another trap. It's just doing the best you can, but doing what you're capable of too. I always challenge myself in sports and things like that, and even in life, it's like, have I actually tried my hardest? Like, what does my hardest look like? Ask yourself that question. Have you really tried your hardest? I would say there's very few people in this world who have. I know I haven't tried my hardest, and I've tried pretty hard in a lot of things, but in terms of what the fullest potential I'm capable of, no, I haven't even tapped into that yet. I'm getting there. But we're all on this journey, and with this full moon, this eclipse, it is kind of one of those heavenly markers of the cosmic clock that will set forth energies in your life for the next couple months, just how it goes. So the time is now to really set those intentions and really dial in what you're going to do to make them happen. that aspect of the heart and acting, inaction versus action. Don't expect any progress to go down in life if you're not going to take the initial steps. We've all had as I like to say, and as I kind of express it to people, is we've all had the keys and have been in the driver's seat for the past few seasons. And our team in life is kind of like, hey, you got the keys, we're just in the back seat now. So you have to take your ship wherever you want to sail, baby. Go to the destination you seek. Just make sure it's rooted in what's true. If you do that, you'll be okay. And things may get crunchy by living from your heart and speaking your truth, but if it's fully coming from the heart, despite it being a little turbulent and crunchy, it'll be the medicine that everyone needs. Because a lot of what's coming through now is, speaking your truth and allowing that to be the inspiration for people. So, I love you so much. Thanks for dropping in. May the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. Catch in with you Wednesday. We got a fun one. Yeah, it's definitely the catalyst to the spiritual search. It's kind of where things can really begin, but it's one of the most overlooked. Yeah, the next 3 are actually going to be kind of a deep dive in that aspect of, what does it really take to enter into like an authentic spiritual path that's going to lead you to the least amount of cul-de-sacs. Yeah, I'm excited. But I love you. Have a great day. Have a great full moon dropping in tonight. And with everything else, peace. Peace be with you.